It's me, Huggles. Don't mind the kitties are in a mood today. It's a full moon, I think, is what happened, but I'm gonna be able to be on, I think, a little bit more often in the next few months, so it's probably gonna change, and hopefully I can get back to where I was. For me, when I get sick, because I got very ill, for me, when I get sick, it can take its toll, and it can take a few days for me to bounce back because I don't bounce back. Sad but true. Long story short, I had an issue with for almost over a year where I was having massive issues with walking and with talking. And we finally found out that I was presumptive positive for MS, which means that they believe it's absolutely MS. It's just that unless I go in and take a piece out or do other diagnostic things, they won't know. And it's just too risky for what's going on right now. And especially with the coronavirus and everything else that's going crazy, it's just not the right time. So, when we found out, it was very, very difficult. I'd been falling a lot for almost a year, actually a little bit over a year, by the time we actually got the diagnosis, and the details of what it was. Verbal problems, mental, cognitive things, cognitive reflex. I'd never had an issue with words before, but I get these like spells, I guess you would say, where everything just is like you almost are spitting everything out because you don't know the word that's in your head, but you can't verbalize it. And you know what you want to say, but it's not coming out, right? So it's been hell. So I ended up being put on a medicine called gabapentin, which is an awesome medication. At first, I thought it only worked with certain illnesses for people. And eventually they realized that it had multiple purposes for muscle and joint damage, which is kind of nice. The only side effect I've ever found is the factor of needing to drink water a lot. I drink more water in a day than I usually did in a week, and that's not a joke. I'll go through a ton of these a day, and they actually, believe it or not, it doesn't bother me that I drink that much. It's just that you feel so bloated and like you have so much liquid in you, you don't feel great. But your limbs, I guess like what the ER doctor had said, you feel kind of like that. And I kept trying to find the words for it. But if you have your arm or your leg or something go to sleep, and when you touch it, it hurt. Like the inside, if you move it, it hurt. And if you touch it, it's like it was numb to the touch, but it hurts. That's how my right side is 24/7 every day. Even up into my face, into my ear, into the back of my head, over in here even. This side has drooped, this eyebrow, eye. A lot of situations have happened because of it, and I'm not happy about it, but you know what? I've always said to people from day one, you are what you are. It's just like my C-section when I had my son, it was a badge of honor. It's not something I'm going to go to the point of feeling self-conscious about. And unfortunately, at one point, it did get that way. Not because of the droop, it's just that I wasn't able to move as much, and it started to really affect me emotionally. I started to have some massive depressive issues. It didn't help that my son, who we stuck together, so whenever one did something, the other one did, or I mean, he had time with his friends and so on and so forth, but we were always each other's laughter every day. So when he went off to college, it was very hard on him. It was very hard on me. I mean, you could tell he wanted it to seem like it was fine, but it was difficult. I didn't realize how difficult. Um, so not having that with me, and whenever I got sick, he was able to take me to the ER or do what he needed to do. I don't have that anymore. So here I'm trying my hardest to continue to make myself better, but at the cost of not having certain things that I did before. So the medicine, though it helps, and I was still falling, even popped my ankle out of place. Now, mind you, it popped it so bad, it still isn't right. It still doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right. I can't walk on it the same. I have massive walking issues, and it's not fun. It's not just walking, it's holding things or using your fingers, your hands, whatever. I can drop it or start shaking really violently and have to put it down. So all this crazy stuff combined, and the gabapentin, and you feeling all that bloated and tired and weighed down. I had gained a little bit of weight, and I was not happy about it. I mean, I like myself no matter what. I'll be honest. Somebody else doesn't, I don't, and not my problem. Because the people who love you at your best and only at your best doesn't mean they're going to love you at your worst. And right now, I'm kind of going through the worst end of a huge, long battle that hopefully will start going back upward after coronavirus is over. But here's the thing. I decided to get some fake sugar. Now, mind you, I love my coffee every morning. I have to have it. If I don't, I feel like my brain is brain dead. So I went to the point of, this is kind of like the layout of what happened. Christmas Eve, I left. I went and I was with my son. Christmas morning, we woke up, went out, got coffee, came back, made a turkey. I mean, we did stuff together. I'd used regular sugar because that's what they had the day after Christmas. Now, I stayed up until January 2nd. After about, I think it was the third day, we decided that we'd try a different coffee place because the one we went to was just so potent in caffeine. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it at all. It was intolerable for me. So we went and got coffee from a Dunkin' Donuts. And yes, at the Dunkin' Donuts, it was totally different. Never been there before. He had a breakfast sandwich. I had my coffee, but there was no regular sugar. So I figured, okay, I'll try fake, whatever. And mind you, I'd gotten sick when I was younger, but I thought, and I was told by so many outlets that fake sugars have changed so much. You got stevia and truvia, blah, 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 blah. And you have all this stuff that's supposed to be better for you than sugar. And better than organic, normal, stuff. And so by about the fourth or fifth day, after I had been drinking my coffee at Dunkin' Donuts in the morning for 2 days, I started to get very ill. I figured it was just my Crohn's and IBSD, migraines, thyroid. I just thought it was a collective collage of all of that because we weren't sure yet if it was an from the MRI. We knew something was wrong. We weren't sure yet if it was microvascular or demyelination, which is MS. We didn't know yet, so had no clue. I started to get sick, and I just put it off like that was what was making me ill, and I didn't think twice. So by the time I had left on the 2nd of January, I was so sick. I was in pain. I did not feel good. I didn't know if I'd be able to drive back home because I was so weak and tired. It was a nightmare. So I got back home. It took me about 2 to 3 days to recover from it. And normally, unless I'm really, really ill with something like a virus, I don't have that issue, but so I went and I stayed with my son. I think it was like a week ago, almost a week ago. Yeah, it was over a week ago. Don't ask. The brain is not the work. And I had left on last Friday. And we had gotten me some, I think it's equal. Figuring just try it because I wasn't too happy about the weight I had gained a little bit, you know. I wanted to get on to a yoga program so that my muscles in my joints stay more limber than if they were sitting in one spot. So I started using it. I had used it Saturday morning. Sunday morning, Saturday morning, after Saturday morning, I still wasn't feeling very well. So by Saturday night, I was really not feeling well at all. My stomach was really, really hurting. And considering we're at the point that we're at coronavirus time, that's a little worrying when you go through something where you're not feeling well and your guts are kind of hurting. So I ended up pretty much staying up all that night. I ended up going to bed early. I woke up and I was in pain. Sunday, same thing. I woke up, I was feeling a little bit better. And then all of a sudden I was very ill, very, very ill. And by Monday, I was so ill and in so much pain. I just could not figure out what was wrong with me. I literally felt, and I mean, I have Crohn's, I have IBS-D, I've had my gallbladder out, I've had a C-section, I've been through birth. I can honestly tell you, it was one of the most intense pains I've ever felt in my life. It felt like somebody had punched a hole right through my stomach and were just squeezing my intestines. And they were in so much pain. And I just could not seem to get over what was going on. So I tried to think, I know with Corona going on, I'm not going to panic. What did I change? What did I do differently that could have made me sick? And I started to think, the first thing I changed was the equal on Friday. And that was only a few days before I had gotten so ill I wanted to die. At that point, I literally felt like I was dying and like I wanted to die. I was in that much severe pain. My painkillers that I'm on normally that help were not helping it. It was helping the migraine that it caused with it, but it was not helping the gut pain. And I just could not believe that I was feeling this bad. So I just sat there and started thinking. The only thing I changed was equal. I mean, was there any other symptoms? Because I knew the reason why I had done it and purchased it was because I had used it the last time I was with my son. And then I realized the whole time, the last few days of Cedar Rapids when I was with him, and Iowa City when I was with him, I was really ill. I did not feel good. I was falling asleep just sitting there. I just fall asleep because I was that ill and that tired and that sick. Why am I this sick? Why? What has been done that's different? Why am I sick? And at the time, it was just like, okay, this is just, because I do deal with this, but not to this extent of pain. So it finally dawned on me that it's absolutely the equal. So I'm upset. I don't feel good. I hadn't had sleep. I'd been in the bathroom, out of the bathroom, in the bathroom, out of the bathroom for days. And it took me, today's Thursday, it took me to now, even still, my stomach's even a little bit sore. I attempted to eat, and even now it's a little bit sore. But it's one of those things where it's like, it should not have been this hard to figure it out. I didn't know that false sugars could make a person that ill. I didn't think that it would feel like you were literally being poisoned. And if I had to think of what being poisoned is, I would say that that's definitely what it was feeling like. I'm not shooting down Equal or any other sugar substitute. There are a ton of people out there who do have diabetes and would like to have a cookie. And I would rather they had a cookie with that sugar, falsified sugar in it, if they can tolerate it, than to go out there and to get a normal cookie that they're going to get sick on. I would totally rather. My grandfather had it. My best friend who passed away had it. I have other relatives who have it. It's not anything to laugh at. My son has blood sugar issues where he needs to eat food every so often. I had someone I dated who needed sugar every so often. He had to carry candy with him. It's not funny. And it's not fair to not have something that can help them. So I get it. I do. But I also don't understand why there isn't enough information out there to let people know, parents know, everybody know that sugars of that time, synthetic, I guess we'll just call it that, or falsified sugars, which aren't natural, with all this other stuff in it that's supposed to be super sweet. They don't tell you that your body isn't supposed to be eating that. They don't tell you that you can get so extremely ill, you literally want to die. They don't tell you on any commercial I've ever seen in my entire life. And my mom drank coffee with sweet and low in it for probably 20 years. Ended up in a nursing home with Alzheimer's and dementia. Now, you can't tell me that there wasn't some correlation somewhere, because she was one of the youngest people they've ever seen in a nursing home. And she drank tons and tons and tons of sweet and low every day. But the thing for me is, if this has made me so ill, why didn't I know that that would be a huge possibility? Now, I've ran across people who don't want to put calories into their life. They think drinking a regular, let's say, Dr. Pepper, they think drinking a regular Dr. Pepper just makes them all hyper because of the sugar, makes them all jittery. I've heard that comment. I've heard other comments like it It makes you feel nice for a while, but then it makes you feel really tired after. Um, and then I've heard them change to the diets because they don't want to gain weight, or they feel like they don't get the jitters, or they don't have that immediate boost up and then drop. But the fact is, what are you trading it for? Stomach aches, um, tongue sores. Them are some of the just normal things. Why do I have one? I'm having headaches. Why am I having headaches? I'm having stomach aches and I don't understand why. It just doesn't feel like my food digests the same anymore. I don't know why. I'm not losing any weight. If anything, I've gained some weight. I don't know why. I've heard a lot of these things, especially throughout 20 years of my lifespan with the people around me that I've had. And my son's dad jumped back and forth from, normal diet, normal diet, normal diet. And then at the end of it all, he doesn't know which one he feels worse on. So it becomes a question of, what are you willing to trade? Are you willing to trade the sugar and the jitters for the tongue sore and the stomach ache and the nausea, but the not drop of energy, or nothing at all? I mean, what are you going to trade here? And I finally got to the point where I was looking up caffeine pills, and that didn't seem like that was a very good idea either. With my health issues, that's the last thing I need. I don't need a heart attack yet. But I did decide that because of what's going on, and when I do get sick and I can't drink my coffee, I go through withdrawals, which causes really bad headaches because I'm not getting the caffeine that I usually get every day. And this is something I've heard so many people say. It's just so true. I've had to come to the conclusion that at this point, I can't cut the sugars down without cutting some of the caffeine down. And rather than drop myself like a ball off of the Empire State Building, I need to slowly come off of it to enough of a cup to where I feel like it's good enough. And if I can come off it completely, great. If I need just that little bit, it's not going to be such a big deal. And I won't feel so bad when I don't have it or with other things. So I really had to make a big, huge decision. And as much as I love my coffee, trust me, Folgers, I love my coffee. You have no idea. I even have cups that say, "What am I doing up?" I even have a shirt that says, "I work when my coffee does," which is really funny. I love that shirt. But the fact is, if I don't change something, it's going to change me. And right now, it's not changing me for the better. So now that I've been off of it for a few days, I'm starting to seriously feel better. Stomach, again, still feels sore. It's nothing like it was, but I tell you, I will never again, ever, ever have anything with fake sugar in it again. If someone so much as gives me a piece of gum, I'll throw it back at them, or I'll spit it right out the window. There's no way I can. I can't even stomach the taste of it anymore. And that was another thing that was so odd. I almost had like a metallic taste with it. Like it was really a poison. Like I had a metallic, metally taste after a few days. And that was scary. So I end up sleeping or just in a fetal position holding my stomach. So, whatever advice I have, I'm just going to tell you, try it in small doses. If you do get sick, if you feel sick, if you look up the symptoms of what it can do compared to what natural sugars can do. Look at the research. Some people say it stops obesity. Some people say it causes obesity. I don't know. Look it up. Don't feel bad for wanting a cup of coffee with something sweet in it. Don't. Just, I guess, some people say, oh, do it in moderation. Okay, that's great and all, but you can't do it in moderation if you're over drinking the coffee. You have to find a balance somewhere, and you have to be willing to cut something out. And the situation with me, I love my coffee, but it's got to be. I have to cut it down. So, Lucky says hi. So, I would suggest everybody do their research. I mean, really, do your research. And if you start to feel sick, stop. Really pay attention to it so that you know whether or not that's what it is. And with the coronavirus right now, everybody's panicking. Everybody's getting immediately, if they feel sick or something, they're freaking out. So stay calm. There's a lot of things that can make a person sick. A lot of cleaning chemicals can make people sick. I mean, tons and tons and tons of cleaning chemicals can make people sick, especially if you're spraying it everywhere. You can breathe that in very easy and cough or choke or make yourself sick. I've seen people who made homemade sanitizers by people who were, I guess you would say, internet trolls who went on and told people, oh, do it this way. And when they did it, they burnt the skin off their children's hands. So their kids ended up in the ER because they wanted to use hand sanitizers that way. Just use common sense. Check your sugars. Know that this is possible. Yes, it is possible. And it's not just on Equal. It's not just on Sweet and Lows or Truvia and Stevia and all that. It's possible on any type of false sugar or salt substitutes. Look up what is in it and what the effects can be. And you may just, oddly enough, recognize the fact that, yeah, this is why I'm sick. And maybe I should just find something else. So, God bless you guys. I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Maybe. It all depends. But please stay safe. I mean, this corona stuff is so crazy. And even though we're in a very small area of less than 800 people, and we have 5 cases already, it's a little bit scary to go outside. So just be safe. God bless you guys. Love to you all, and prayers to all your families. May you all stay healthy and continue to stay healed and do good. God bless you. Bye.